Round Peg Small Business Marketing under our illustrious CEO. I am 24 years old. For those of you playing along at home, that means I was born in 1987.
Yeah, I have shoes older than Allison Parker, just in case you care.
So what does that mean? That means in my lifetime, the fax machine, or excuse me, voicemail has always existed. There's never been a time in my life that there was not voicemail.
See, now this is surprising because, like, in my generation, we actually, like, talk to people on the telephone. It does affect the fact that, Allison, this is a phone.
I thought that was a small computer.
Obviously, you're confused. Not enough experience.
So why don't you tell a little bit about where you're coming from?
Okay, so tonight's program, let's kind of kick off with that right up front so people understand. Our purpose tonight, we have 10 minutes, and we're talking about social media at 25 and 50. Now, this is a conversation that has gone on as an undercurrent for this event for several months.
Since the very first meeting that I can recall when Jason Falls was here.
Okay, and so what we decided to do is put it out, put the elephant out on the table, and talk about it. And we know that we can't cover this in 10 minutes.
So typically, those of you who come to this often know this event is fun, but the real event is what happens next door afterwards. So we want to see all of you guys at Yats eating some delicious Cajun food and duking this out. So we're really going to talk about two different things. First, who should do social media, and two, how do you market to different ages in social media?
So obviously I'm a little bit older than most of you. Duncan was very sweet when he did the promo for this event. He said over 40. I mean, over 40 was a long time ago. I do run Round Peg. I have this amazing team. They're all in the house. Y'all put your hands up because we've got this amazing team. And in case you're curious, I will be 55 this year, and I'm okay with that. I am also quite proud of the fact that I know where the on switch is on my computer.
Can you tell me what it was like in the Nixon administration?
Actually, I can. And so can he. So, a couple of things that we're going to be talking about tonight. The fact that we approach social media differently. As social media consumers, I'm much more comfortable, and folks in my generation are much more comfortable reading print. We're going to be much more comfortable printing documents and looking at them. Why? Okay, I'm going to fess up, folks. I wear bifocal contacts, but most of my peers do not, which is why most of my peers don't like texting. You send us those stupid little messages, they appear on our phones, and we can't read them.
It's probably a lot harder when you're trying to read them while driving, though.
Yeah, and that goes at any age.
So, essentially, we're coming at social media from two different places, but so are people who are looking to hire us. So what does that mean? It means that we run into a lot of age bias on both ends of the spectrum.
How are we biased against you? You guys have got all these advantages. People think you're young, you've got technology. What's working against you?
But I'm 24 years old and I'm fresh out of college and I don't know how to do anything, but I can type really fast, I can text really fast, and I know all about the Facebook and the Twitter.
But I don't actually know anything about business or thinking.
Yeah,
That's the bias. How about you? I mean, you're old, you've been around forever. You're old.
She thinks she's going to have a job tomorrow.
Who's going to run all those accounts without you? Those dashboards get confusing.
So here's the bias is people my age absolutely do not know how to plug in a computer. We don't know what a computer's for. Let's have a little bit of perspective. I've been using Google longer than some of you have been alive.
No one here's
No
15.
way!
17, 18, 19. Okay, I've been using Google since
Can anyone
some
here
of you.
not drink?
Fine, since some of you. Okay, we're going to go since toddler age because in a couple of years it's going to be since you were alive. Google has been my dashboard, and so this is what the bias is, that we don't know technology. Bias is that we can't turn on our computers. We're not good at social media. In general, we're not, because we are all about business. And actually, Allison and I have a little bit of conflict while we were working on the presentation today.
Well, a lot of that is because you have to remember, age is a very important part of determining where you're coming from, but so are so many other factors. For instance, we fundamentally approach social media differently because I come from a communications background. I want to have conversations and talk to people and start dialogue and all those great buzzwords that we all think make you all sound like douchebags, right? Lorraine, on the other hand, is show me the money.
Okay, I'm running a business here. I'm a small business owner. I've got a degree in marketing. It is all about the bottom line. And as you're looking at older consumers who are approaching social media, that's going to be their bias. They're going to look at it as, how do I make the revenue? The biggest mistake I think that consumers or creators, content creators, my age make, is they jump right to business. They want to sell you something. The research shows we like the internet, we get email, we don't really get the social.
Conversely, I think you guys have all seen the research, email among people my age is down. We only use it to talk to adults, right? Whereas if we're talking to each other, we're going to get on a Facebook chat, we're going to send a DM, we're going to text, we're going to do something like that. So there definitely is a very real digital divide.
And so as we're looking at this, the truth is that there are biases that exist on both sides. They impact both your career and your marketing ability as a business. So whether you're looking for a job in social media, whether you're looking to hire someone in social media, the question is, what skills do people bring to the table based on their age, based on their background, and then how do you compensate for the gaps in your skill set? And then definitively, there are some young professionals that grew up in an era where voicemail has always existed. Assume no one will ever answer the telephone. They will jump to text. They will jump to social media as a means of communication. The downfall?
Downfall sometimes it takes longer to get stuff done because you're going back and forth in email and trying to figure things out when you pick up the phone.
Conversely, people my age?
Conversely, people your age,
Yeah, we're
don't
senile,
always,
I get that.
well, I mean, if you can remember the phone numbers, but, when we practiced, she said I wasn't mean enough. Before we move on to the next point, I want to talk a little bit about our biases as marketers, as well as the biases when we're hiring someone to do this. So, which one of us do you think is more likely to be on Facebook? Raise your hand if you think it's me.
Raise your hand if you think it's me. Those of you who voted for me, you win. Actually, women my age, we are the fastest growing and it is women. And this is more of a gender thing. Women my age, we are the fastest growing demographic on Facebook. We get the social. We have migrated from classmates.com. We have migrated from AOL chat. And
I
we're
used
talking.
AOL chat, those were awesome.
Yeah, okay, way too confusing, all of those windows. Yeah, sorry, no. But now here's one other thing that I want you to consider. The over 50 demographic, we are not one demographic. You see, Allison, my guess is you took keyboarding in.
I first took keyboarding in 3rd grade. We played Pause Party on the computer
Okay, and then you followed up in
every year.
every year. It was called typing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we had typewriters, and so men in my demographic, for the most part, can't touch type. They have learned to keyboard. They do a lot of this. Watch them. They're doing this. They're doing this. They can't touch type. And so women over 50 versus men over 50, social media is not fun for a lot of these guys because they just, number one, they can't see the keys. They won't put their glasses on. And number two, they really don't have that skill. So it's a little, it is different. That's why Blackberries among old men are a little easier. You should feel the keys.
My big thumbs.
Your big thumbs, you got it. All right, you want to talk about the picture? I put the picture, wait, I did the PowerPoint.
Woo!
Taylor did the background, you just put pictures.
I have a talented graphic designer.
It's smart deployment of your resources, so I'll take it from here in that same vein. So essentially, what you have to remember is, look at this. There is a fairly clear curve here, but there is a large percentage of social media consumers at nearly every age point. Depending on what you're marketing, if you are only marketing to that coveted television demographic of 18 to 54, you're losing out. There is still room to be made on